Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Please read through the disclaimer. Please understand this is for education purposes only and entertainment. Everything shown in the video is just my opinion. Let's begin. Okay, so looking at the Bitcoin chart on the daily and then moving down slowly to the lower time frames. So first of all, you can see we still have that original parallel channel. And price has been respecting this. So, we had to move up to retest the middle of the channel. We have come down slightly. So, just to see where we are, we also have the previous descending channel locally. And we can see this has been respected very well. And so, we want to see roughly where price could go. And so, what I'd like to normally do is have a fib drawn. So I have a fib from the low to the high to see where I would potentially target anything. And looking at this, my target would still naturally be close to the 618 in terms of a retracement before, taking a bout to potentially move up. Now, what this means is I don't expect the price to just bump all the way down to the 618. So what I'm going to be looking at is where it will go locally to where it may reject and then where it may move. So let's look at the 4-hour chart. So on the 4-hour chart, let's hide the bigger fib. And what we want to do is have a more of a local fib to see, where price can go locally. So we would have the impulse from this high to this low, creating that local range. And the fib for this is as per. So looking at this, what I would naturally target is a move up, potentially from where the area we are here. If we break through the 236, would be to the 618 area, the golden pocket, where we could potentially reject or even break through and create a wick to the 786 before moving back down again. And if this does occur, this could be more potentially possible. And once if we do hit that and move down, that would be a good area for potentially, adding to a short. The other thing you also have to look at, like I mentioned, you could get a swing failure pattern where it hits the 786, wicks up to that level and comes down. Now, the reason why I'm looking at this 618 area, number one, for the bigger channel, it's just above the middle of the channel. The 618 is the high of the local channel moving from this high to the low. And so technically, if we don't get a swing failure, it could just literally also be a wick to the 618. If that occurs, then you might get a move down something like this, sideways, and, following that sort of local channel, and potentially then moving back down to test the middle of this channel. That is what I would look at locally. Now, if we add that with the bigger fib, which we have from the low here to the high up here, what I want to look at is see if there's any sort of confluence. And then what we get is a confluence with the 618 and the bigger channel, the bigger fib 236 level over here. So where I could see that adds to that resistance. So you're looking at resistance of the golden pocket, the resistance of the bigger fib 236, and the resistance of the downward sloping channel on the upper side, plus it's very close to the middle of the bigger channel moving up. And because of that, there is that higher probability it may go up to this sort of level before trying to make another level or another leg down. And if this does occur, my natural target in this sort of case is the 618 level, where I could expect a potential, if price does go down like this through the channel, you may then get a wick down to that 618 level, because it's out of the channel, and then price potentially comes back in. Now, if we break out of the channel, again, we have to think of that as a scenario as well. What I'd expect is if price does get down here out of the channel, then I'd expect price to test down and then retest the lower level of the bigger channel, and that could be in confluence in this sort of area before it moves down to maybe retest the 786. That is if we go down this far. Again, this is looking at it further. I don't really want to comment it going this down until this sort of level and this TA comes to light. The other thing I would want to also add then at this sort of point is, if I go back to the daily, I would also want to look at my indicator. Again, the Titan RG. And from this you can see it's what we're looking at now is here. You see the buy volume has decreased, but it's now flicked up, and that's based on that candle. The sell volume has decreased, and it is continuing to do so, and the RG is creating a pattern again, potentially like this, or if it does move up, it can do this. And that is on the basis where it could move up to tap the top of that channel and then come down. And if we do get that, it will end up obviously creating a bigger potential move down, and again fulfilling this sort of criteria over here. Now, if we do move up and break through the VMA bands, and RG then decides the buys and the sales pressure starts to decrease with the buys increasing, then obviously this becomes invalidated, and then price could potentially move up higher. But looking at how things look, in the short term I see a pull up, but in the long term I still see the correction still happening. And that's it for my analysis of Bitcoin. Thank you for joining and watching this. And what I will also do is create a video doing a recap of some of the coins that we looked at a few weeks ago to see how they have got on, whether they hit our targets, and where they are going soon. So thanks again for joining. And again, please pause the video, go through the trade disclaimer, understanding this is just my opinion, not financial advice. And please subscribe, share the video, and help grow the channel. My job is just to share my technical analysis and potentially teach everyone in the group who joins in, for to show them a nicer, clearer way of trading. Okay, thank you again, and see you soon. Bye bye.